Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. Today we got a special college football history special. Today we're going to highlight a team that I consider maybe the greatest single-season team in all of college football, the 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. The 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers was one of the most dominating teams I ever seen with my own eyes on the college football level. I'm going to start with their head coach, Tom Osborne, a guy who I consider class, poise, and a guy that seemingly never got upset on the sideline. That's why he won 255 games, 49 losses and 3 ties, and 3 national championships, 94, 95, and 97. He was a great coach, and I think a lot of times we don't know how special Tom Osborne was as the head coach of Nebraska. But today, I'm giving him all kudos and much love to Mr. Osborne and the nation of Nebraska. But let me start with the 95 team. When you're talking about domination, you're talking about at the highest level, this team, by no means, no words about it, this is the greatest team ever. You can talk about the 79 University of Alabama Crimson Tide. You can talk about the 72 USC Trojans. You can even talk about the 2020 University of Alabama and the 2019 LSU Tigers. But this team here did it in a very dominating way. And they weren't throwing the ball all over the field. They did it old school, smash the ball in your face and run it down your throat. Let me say it one more time. Run it down your throat. And they had a special player that ran the option. His name was Tommy Frazier out of Bradenton, Florida. In my opinion, the greatest option quarterback that ever played the game. Let me start with the Nebraska's 95 offense. 638 points, 52 points a game, 77 touchdowns. Rushing the football, they averaged 7 yards a pop. Ahman Green, true freshman, averaged over 7 yards a pop. Tommy Frazier, the quarterback, averaged almost 6.8. And I know a lot of people might say and might disagree with this. This young man was a special football player. And he's one of the best 5 running backs I've seen at the college level. Granted, his life didn't work out. We know how it ended. But kudos up in heaven as I look up Mr. Lawrence Phillips. As you see on the screen, was a very special football player. And I'm so sad that he had some demons. But this young man was special. But getting back to the Nebraska football team, I'm talking to you from an offensive standpoint, but defensively, it only averaged 14 points. They only allowed 14 points a game. That doesn't get talked about. Let's talk about that offensive line that had 2 All-Americans, and Aaron Graham, and Aaron Taylor. They did not allow a quarterback sack that season. Let me say it one more time. They didn't allow a quarterback sack that season. But the most telling statistic, they averaged 399 yards a game rushing. 1 yard from averaging almost 400 yards a game. Another key stat that just blows my mind. They scored 49 points 8 times that season. But this is a stat that separates great teams with other teams. A lot of people down there in Miami say the 2001 Miami Hurricanes was the best team. What really give me the nod to give it to the 95 Nebraska Cornhuskers, they beat 4 teams in the top 10 that year. 4 teams. I'm going to start with Kansas State. Let me look at the score, 44-25. A Kansas State team that had Chris Canty, Kevin Lockett, Sr., and Mark Simeon. Then they beat a Colorado team that year, 44-21. Court Detner, Ray Caruth, Matt Russell. Then they beat a Kansas team that was ranked 9th that year. June Hitley, Isaac Bird, and Don Davis. And then finally, you know how I do it here at 100 Yards of Football. It's always about the film, the biggest stage, the national championship game. They beat Steve Spurrier and that fun and gun offense. They had Danny Wolfer, Chris Dorn, Ike Hilliard, Riedel Anthony. On defense, they had Lawrence Wright, and James Bates, and they beat them 62-24, and they put up almost 524 yards on the ground, and it wasn't even close. So kudos to the 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I'm going to say this. When you think about that team, think about Grant Winston, Jason Peter, Christian Peter, Amon Green, Tony Frazier, Lawrence Phillips, Michael Booker, oh my God, Mike Mittner, Tyrone Williams, and Phil Ellis, and the gentleman that ran the show, Tom Osborne. And before I leave, one more keynote off that team. 27 players signed NFL contracts. 27. So, the end of about the Nebraska Cornhuskers, I'm going to say this. There was a great rapper out of California by the name of Coolio. He had a song called Gangsta Paradise. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I take a look at my life and I realize there's nothing left. The 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers was Gangsta Paradise at the highest level of football history. This team was dominant. And kudos to Tom Osborne, as I rate him one of the top 3 coaches in all of college football history. So if you like the video today, please comment and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Enjoy the rest of the week, and God bless here on Lots of Football.